Hey loves, this is Thursday Theories video 6. The theory for today is most people don't change, they just age. Growth isn't automatic. Time doesn't equal maturity. Awareness does. This is an interesting theory. So, it's pretty much saying that people don't change with age. They change with awareness. So whether you believe this to be true or not, that means people that grow old can still be technically immature. And it's all because of their self-awareness, how they choose to observe themselves, watch themselves, learn from mistakes, learn from experiences, and change the way of moving in this world, acting in this world, speaking in this world, how they choose to show up, and how they choose to take care of others, love others, impact others through words or experiences. Very interesting. Number 2, repeated patterns harden without reflection. Change requires intention. So in order to truly see change and growth in maturing as we get older with age, we must have the intention to want to grow and to evolve and to learn and shift our ways. And in order to do that, we have to be self-aware of what our problems are, of what we can fix, of what it's good, but we could be better. And we have to be humble enough and love ourselves enough to, allow our ego to fall too and step into that uncomfortable place of being like, I could do better. I could be better here. I could communicate in this way better, or I could control my energy better by not doing this or this. And yeah, so I kind of love this one. This is a very interesting theory. And I honestly do believe that this is true. I love it. So if you do these patterns over and over, it just hardens you. So when you get to like 50, 60, 70, 80, you're the same person. You never grew. It's because you're doing the same patterns you've been doing for years and years and years and years and years, decades. So it gets embedded in your DNA and your identity, and it's super hard to rewire from there if you've been doing it for years. So if you feel like you have some bad habits right now, especially if you're young in your 20s right now, this is the time. This is the time for us to make mistakes, figure out who we are, and grow from them and learn from them. Because if not, when we're 60, we're going to be still having those same bad habits. And we're not going to ever mature or get older or grow and evolve to our best versions. So it's something to think about. Number 3, this matters in dating and choosing partners. This matters in dating and choosing partners. This matters because if you're going to stay this way and never change and never grow and never choose to be self-aware to make a shift in your life to become a better person or a better version of you, your partner will also need to be this way. Because if your partner isn't and they do decide to grow and evolve and change their ways, you guys will actually change. When you guys are in love, one will outgrow the other, and then you'll no longer recognize each other, and you no longer are a match. You no longer are compatible. They deserve to be with someone else now because they grew, and that other man is going to feel that they're more compatible and give her a better life. Vice versa for a man who outgrows a woman, and a woman is like, I'm not growing. I love who I am. I'm staying who I am. I don't care what anyone says. Same idea. They're going to stay like this till they're 60, 70, 80 with the same not ever growing since they were younger. And the man's going to grow, and then there's going to be a disconnect. And then he's going to feel like he wants other women, and that are more compatible for him. So this is very interesting of a theory. So as long as you pick a partner who also is ever learning, ever growing, ever leveling up, and also is self-aware of their actions. And if you were to point something out to them, like, oh, I noticed that you did this and I didn't really like that because it made me feel like this, that they're self-aware and humble enough and mature enough to be like, okay, I see what you're saying, and it was never my intention to affect you or to cause any problem or for you to feel in any way. I love you, and I will make that change for you. And it's not that hard because you're so self-aware enough that you can make shifts like that, and it's not a big deal because you love the person. That's ever growing. That's not stagnant. You're maturing slowly but surely as you guys both are leveling up with each other and learning to coexist together. You guys are actually leveling each other up while actually like falling in love and like bending two worlds together. It's amazing. But yeah, if you choose someone, if you don't want to be someone who grows, which most people here in Growth Group, our community, want to grow and become their best version. But if you were someone who's like, oh, I'm just comfortable being where I'm at, I don't want to like grow or do anything, I just want to stay who I am forever, then you would have to actually find a woman who's the same way, who's like, I'm just going to be here, never change and be the same. And then you guys would both be a perfect match because you guys would stay the same way all the way and never evolve and never grow or level up. So think about that also when choosing a partner, because this theory can affect your future and the success of your marriage, your future marriage. Patterns predict probability better than promises. Patterns predict the probability of an outcome more than promises do. So promises, they're really intense and it feels good to promise something and you want to do this, you want to do this with them. But really we need to look at their patterns. Like people can say things all day long. We have movies, we have books, we have poetry, we have social media, we have things that give us such beautiful romance and hope in things, and people can say anything that they've learned from anything, but doesn't mean that their personality and their actual way of moving on earth and how they communicate and how they actually are in a relationship and their patterns, it could also, like what they say, they might not even know it themselves, but what they're saying things, they actually don't connect with their actions, or they are making themselves seem as like they're here and they would do all these things and then they end up letting you down. That's why we have to always think about people's patterns, because their patterns is what predicts the probability of your success in a relationship, your happiness in a relationship, how compatible you are, is how your whole future looks like, the whole dynamic, the whole, like, think of your love relationship, your relationships like a movie. Like literally, if there was a camera on you at 24/7, your whole life, there's a camera shooting you and rolling your movie, your life with this partner. What will that look like? And does this person have the patterns? And what will be the probability of your guys' success and happiness in this relationship? Is there a potential of something bad happening depending on their habits? Because maybe their habits are doing something that maybe could lead them down a bad path in the future if they, like were tapped into the wrong person. Who knows? But think about someone's patterns more than what their promises are. Really observe a human and what they're passionate about. What do they do day to day? Who is this person? If they can't let you in, obviously that's a whole nother situation. But if they do let you in, then really observe their life and understand if this is something you are capable with doing for the rest of your life. Think about that first, right? We talked about ever growing, ever changing, maturing, and getting older as we get to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And right now, we're in probably 30s below or a little bit in our 30s. So think about the far, far future, like when we're like getting older, we have so much time on earth, this is just the very beginning, right? So when we pick a person, we're going to have so many chapters with them, right? So we have to think about the probability and the promises and their patterns. And if you like their patterns right now, you guys are just going to ever evolve and grow together. If you follow this and you decide to mature together and never leave each other behind and stay growing and never grow apart and lose the love. If you guys do decide to grow together, then your patterns will actually you'll get stronger together. And you guys already started at a baseline that's so compatible, that's so solid. And you guys are so solid in your morals and your values and your day-to-day activities, your hobbies, who you are as a person, what you're passionate about. If you're already there, like in your patterns, or just who you guys are just going to level each other up and just be happier and happier and keep maturing, So think about the promises, and then think about their actual patterns before picking someone and stepping into that, because that can say a lot about your future together, if you guys are compatible or not. The theory question: is this person evolving or repeating? Ask your guys' this when you're dating online. If you're in person meeting people, ask yourself, is this person evolving or are they repeating? Some people are lost in a loophole. They don't know just yet, but they're doing this, they're living the same life over and over again. So which means they're not like leveling up their mindsets and their knowledge. And I'm not going to say that's not a bad thing, because some people, it is going to be harder for family and children in the future, but I think that there is a possibility they could still make it. I'm still always hopeful for love, and I do believe that people can make it even if they don't continue evolving. So if someone is repeating patterns or just living that same life over and over and staying stuck where they are not changing, making any changes or growth, if they find a woman, or a man and woman are both the same way, they will actually... It'll be like, for example, like a positive, someone exponentially growing and achieving so much success, right? And then there's a negative. People just stay still. Not saying that's actually, I'm just using like science right now. Just saying like positives and negatives, ions. If a positive and a positive are together, it's positive. If a negative and a positive together, it doesn't work. If a negative and a negative are together, it can work. So if anyone in here stumbled upon this video or this stream and doesn't see themselves ever really wanting to reach more, I'm not trying to say that you can't find love or find compatibility, because that's a lie. And that's not true. Every single human on this planet Earth deserves to be loved and has their partner, has a compatible partner out there. That's a fact. I'm just saying that from this theory, right? This is a theory that, when you get older, you don't mature. As you get older, you don't naturally mature as humans. Humans mature and grow and level up as we are self-aware. The more self-aware you are, the more you shift the way you are from your childhood, how you were raised. Some of us weren't raised by the most perfect parents. They didn't come from bloodlines that were perfect. So we had to actually evolve and rewire the way that we've thought. To better ways. And so because of that, if you find a partner who also is on that trajectory of leveling up and constantly growing and evolving and is self-aware enough to do so, then you'll be able to find that partner that's a good compatible match, so you guys can grow together, and then you won't outgrow someone. But yeah, people who don't like to grow as much, they actually are a match. So the other people who don't like to grow and like to stay where they're at, you know what I mean? So that is a different perspective. But if you are someone who wants to level up and grow and become better every single day and continue maturing all the way to your 80, 90, and 100, then I would say, is the person evolving, or are they repeating in a cycle their habits and the things they're doing? Think long term. This is video 6, Thursday Theories. I love you guys so much. This one's so much fun. I love these ones because it's like makes you think a little bit. They're not facts, but it's just this perspective on life that we can talk about and have opinions on and perspectives on. And it's just interesting. And I like this one. This one was good. I love you guys so much. We're going to go on to the next one. I'll see you in the next one.